This video is a property of MBKP International. In this video, we're going to talk about bypassing switches in case you have a situation where you have a total power failure on your machine. This is a simple troubleshooting method that you could do to find out if it is your switches. Turns out being your switches, you could bypass it for now. Gives you time to order a new switch, and we could send you another one. You can put the new one back in. In this case, we're going to bypass the on-off switch, but you can do the same thing with the emergency off switch. And you can also do the same thing with the circuit breaker here in the back. The reason why I chose the on-off switch is it just seems like that's the one that gets the most use, and that's the one that fails the most. So that's the one I would start with, and it's also easier to get to. In this case, I want to talk to you about the two different switches that they come with. They sometimes come with the blue and the red. If it's with the red and the blue, the whole mechanism on the back detaches by pulling up on the red. I pulled up on it and it detached, and it comes across out like that. If you have the yellow and the white, you press down and it releases. So that way it'll release from the back that way. So other than that, they're pretty much the same switch as far as the way they work. And the easiest thing to do, this one's a blue one. So I'm just going to pull up on the red tab here and pull back. Let's see if I can get it here. See, it just comes off right here. And I don't know if you can see in there, but there's one side that has a wire, then it has a little loop wire that comes back to it, and then the other side only has a single wire going to it. What we're going to do is we're going to take that little loop and we're going to stretch it across, and we're going to put it on this post over here. That way it'll bypass the switch completely, and you can get your machine up and running if you're in the down. So I'm going to loosen this one. I'm going to get that little loop wire out. Now obviously you want to do this without power on your machine at all. You don't want any power on your machine at all when you're doing this. Unplug from the wall. So tighten it back up. Now I'm going to stretch this little wire that kind of created a loop. I'm going to stretch it across over here. Sometimes it's kind of a pain to get in over here coming in from this angle, because normally you should come in from the other direction, but we don't have much wire to work with here, so I'm just going to really loosen this screw a lot just to get it in there. Don't go too much because the screw will fall out. There we go, I was able to get it in there. And just tighten it. Okay, now that it's tightened, I'm just going to put the switch back in place so it doesn't short out against anything when we turn the machine on. And normally the red part goes straight up. There's like a little groove that it fits into, but usually you can see it. I don't know if you can see it there, but this one has like a little key on it, and usually just goes on the same way it went off. So it snapped back in place. This switch is now bypassed, so this switch is no longer operative, but your machine will start working. Go ahead and turn it on there, Chris. Just turn on the circuit breaker. And you see the switch will not work at all now, but your machine is on, you could up and run. And at that point, you can call us up and ask you to send you another switch. You should always have all your switches working correctly. This is only a temporary fix just so you can get your machine up and running. You can do the same thing with emergency off switch. It has the same mechanism in the back to where you can bypass it. Obviously, you do not want to use your machine without emergency off for very long, because you do need to make sure you have a way to shut the machine off quickly. You can also do the same thing with the circuit breaker here in the back. This video is a property of MBKP International. What do you think?